data sets, and they want us to find what is happening with their sales and which of their products is doing well. Now, the first question they asked us to find out is they want to find out how how their products are selling across different branches. The second question they want to find out is they want to know the total revenue by branch. The third one is they want to know their total yearly revenue. The fourth question they want to know with this data set you're saying is they want to know the total performance of products. And the fifth question is to find out the total revenue by sales agent. Now, before we start with finding out those questions, you have to first of all understand your data set, which is what we call exploratory data analysis, which is EDA. So remember what I told us yesterday? For us to start working on these data sets, we have to make it a table. So we'll do Control A, go to Insert, I'll make this a table. Make sure you click My Table Has Headers and then OK it. Now we've actually turned this into a table. So now the exploration data analysis means we have to go through each of your columns to be sure that everything is aligned. It should be the way it should be. So now let's go through the first. This is the order ID. Normally your order ID shouldn't have a duplicate. So let's go through it. To click here and go through these numbers. There are actually no duplicates in this order ID. I've gone through it before, but always make sure you go through your column step by step. Now let's go to branch. Now, based on this data set, this company has just 3 branches, which is in Jabi, Town, and Wuse. Now, let's go to the sales agents. Let's see how many sales agents they have. The sales agent they have is Blessing Ibrahim, 2, 4, 6, 8. So they have 9 sales agents. Why I'm doing this is to be sure that we do not have any vacant space. We do not have any misspelling or duplicate of numbers. That is why we're doing ED, exploratory data analysis. Now let's go to the product. And the product that this company is selling is mostly accessories, bags, glasses, shoes, and watch. Now that takes us answering the questions that they asked us. To answer the questions, we have to use something called pivot table. In Excel. Now, what is pivot table? Pivot table is a tool in Excel that helps you quickly summarize and analyze large amounts of data. Now, think of it like asking Excel questions about any of your data. Just like asking your Excel, how much did we sell or which product sold more. With pivot table, you can actually analyze your data. So now let's go to pivot table. We go to Insert. This is where you find pivot table. Now, for you to do your pivot table, you have to first highlight all of your data sets. Click on this on any space and then click on Control A. Highlight all of your data sets. Now we come to pivot table. You click on it. Now this place is saying, do you want this pivot table to be in a new sheet, or you want it to be found in this sheet, which is the existing sheet? No, we don't want that. We want it to be in a new sheet. And then we click on add this to the data model. Now this adding this to the data model helps bring more ways of doing calculations. If you don't click on this, there's something called distinct in Excel. You won't be able to do that calculation if you don't click on this. So depending on what you want to achieve, if it's just the normal calculation of just sum, average, mean, and max, you can leave this. But if you're going to do more things, always click on add this to data model. So we'll click on this and okay. Now our pivot table is open. Now our pivot table is open. So on the right hand side, you see where they wrote pivot table fields. Now, if you look down at this place, let me expand it a little so we can see it properly. Okay. Okay. Now, when you look at this place, these are called fields. Fields are columns. You see other ID, you see dates, you see branch, you see all of this. All of this is what we found here. Is all these column headers that you are seeing. So with these column headers is what we use and answer the questions that the company wants us to answer. Now let's go back to the sheet. So this place now, these filters, just like the name is, it helps you filter information. Now this column section helps you decide, okay, do you want your answers to be in columns or here do you want it to be in rows? And then these values is mostly for calculations, which is the sum, the average, and the other ones. Now, the first question, let's try to answer the question. They said they want us to find out how their products are selling across the different branches. Now, looking at the columns, listen to the question. They want us to find how their products are selling across the different branches. So the information we need to use and get this answer is products and branches. The question said they want to find how their products are selling across the different branches. So we click on products. This brings all of the products to row. If you don't want it to be in rows, you just click on it and drag it to columns. You see it, arrange it in columns, but let's leave it in rows. Now, the other unit, the other field we need to get the answer is the branch. So look for the branch, the field branch. Okay. And we click on it. Okay. Now we've gotten all of the branches and also all of the product they are selling. So now they said they want to know how much. When they're talking about how much, they're talking about the prices. How much did they sell? So let's do that. We'll add the revenue gotten. Okay. Okay. Now there's something I want us to see here. If you look thoroughly, you would see that sum of revenue actually came to values. So anything related to number, anything relating to number comes to values. Anything relating to text comes to rows and columns. Remember I told us values is mostly used for calculations. So we've answered the first question, which says they want us to find out how their products are selling across the different branches that they have. Now let's answer the second question that says they want us to know the total revenue by branch. When you listen to the question very well, you can actually know the fields that you need to drag in to get your answers. Just like I said before, you don't have to be a mathematician to know this. You just have to try to understand the question that is being asked. Now, to create another pivot table, we copy this, Ctrl C, and we'll paste it here. So now we are trying to answer the second question that says they want to know the total revenue by branch. So we'll take out the ones we don't need. We don't need products anymore. They said total revenue by branch. We've taken out the products. And now we have branch and we have sum of revenue. So now this shows us the total revenue that these branches have actually gotten. We've answered the second question. Now let's answer the third question. We copy this again. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Now, the third question says they want to know their total yearly revenue. Now, listening to the question, which of the columns do you think would answer this? They want to know their total yearly revenue. Looking at the columns here, yearly has to do with dates. So we remove branch because this question does not have anything to do with branch. We'll pick on dates, which would give us no, I want dates to come. Let's take this out. I want the dates to come to the rows. Okay, now let's drag the dates to the rows. Okay, now in these dates, you can see that there is year. When I scroll, there is quarter, there is month, and there's the full date. Now, the question is saying they want to know what their yearly revenue is. So we would actually sort this out by month instead of using year. We'll sort out this question by month from January to February so that we can get a trend of how their sales has been going from January to February. Now, looking at this data set, you would see it's actually 2 years data sets, 2023 and 2024. But what we want to find out now is the trend from January to February to December. How is our sales? So we come to this rows area. We take out the ones we don't need. We don't need quarter. We'll take it out. Click on that drop down and then remove field. Now we don't need year. We just need the monthly revenue. Take out here, remove field. We don't need this date. This date shows every of the information. We just want month. And we have what we are looking for. So we've answered the third question. Now the fourth question is saying they want to know the total performance of products. Total performance of products. So they want to know sum of revenue for all of the products. Each of our products is doing well. We copy this one to be able to create another pivot table. Control C. Control V. So to answer the question of knowing the total performance of products, we take out dates because dates is not related to finding an answer to this question we have now. We look for the column products. Oh, this is it. So bring it to rows. This answers our question of I want to know the products that are doing well. So this answers the question of I want to know the products that are doing well. Now, the fifth question is saying total revenue by sales agent. How do we get that? Let's copy this first. Control C. Control V. So total revenue by sales agent. We do not need products now because the question does not align with products. So I'm taking this product out. And they said by sales agent. So look for column sales agent. Okay, let's go back up. Sales agent. Okay. Then we'll take it down to this place. So we've actually answered all of the questions. Let's go back. This question is answering what is the total revenue for all of the products and in different locations. For all of the branches, which one is selling more? Which of our products is selling more? Now, for easy identifications of this, to get an easy identification of the answers, this is where we'll apply conditional formatting that I taught us in the first class. Now let's do it. Come to conditional formatting. Let's use color scales. We'll choose this color. Now the most product that sold more is green. The ones that didn't really sell much is yellow. Then the least sold one is red. With this, you can easily just look at your pivot table and be able to tell the answers without having to pinpoint it one by one. If this was a very large data set, it would be hard to just be looking and trying to guess to find out the numbers. But with this conditional formatting, you easily get out the information. So we'll do the same thing for this one. And the same thing for this. Now, we also do the same for this. So that I told you, there are different kinds of conditional formatting. You can use data bars. Now let's use one of the data bars. Data bars just shows you with charts what is which is highest, which is lowest. Here you can see Wuse, the branch Wuse actually sold more. Town sales sold the least. And because it's revenue, we have to make this to be in currency. How do we change that? I've highlighted it, then I came to this place, general, and put it in currency. It automatically just puts the dollar sign. If you don't want the dollar sign, you can as well change it. I did that in the first video, in the first class. Now, let's do for this. Do conditional formatting for this. We can see that actually December sold more followed by July. So this actually helps us tell the information quickly. It's with just pictures, you can easily deduct your answers. Okay. And I think that's the last one. Okay. Now we are done with creating our pivot tables, answering our questions. And we've also done conditional formatting to be able to easily pinpoint the answers. Now, the next thing we are going to do now is creating of charts.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you. From the conditional formatting, I'm
Okay.
not seeing what you're clicking to get all these colors. It's not
Oh,
coming out. Yes.
okay. Let me do that again. But you can see my screen clearly, right?
Yes, it's showing. But then after clicking, it's not showing the next pop-up for us to see what you are clicking.
Okay, let's control Z this. Okay. So now I highlighted this. Then normally it should be on home. You click on home, then you come to this conditional formatting. There's a drop down. Are you guys seeing what's drop down? Are you guys seeing it?
No.
Okay, I think there's something I'm noticing with Excel. When there's another inbuilt function, it doesn't show it. Because this is my full screen. Okay, but now let me explain what I'm saying to you so that you know how it's done. Now, when you click on conditional formatting, I'm hoping we'll go back and practice this later so that you will see, you will understand what I'm saying. So now when you click on conditional formatting, you will see highlight cell rules, top bottom rows, you will see data bars, and you will see color schemes. Now I clicked on color schemes. And then I clicked on the first color I'm seeing that has green, yellow, red. When I clicked on it, it just popped out these colors for me. Did you get that?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now I hope you got the steps. Now, when we are done with this, sorry, we've created our pivot tables, we've answered all of the questions. The next thing now is creating our charts. How do we create charts? Now let's create charts for this first one. We'll click on the pivot table that we want to create the chart for. If you click outside, you're not creating a chart. You should click on the pivot table that you want to create the chart for. Then you go to insert and you go to pivot charts, or you go to recommended charts. And let's click on recommended charts. Can you guys see the pop out that just happened now?
Mba, it's not
Hold
coming
on.
out.
Why is this not showing? Okay, hold on, please. Mm, okay, let me see if I can share my entire screen and see if it will be showing everything. Because there are a lot of inbuilt stuff that I have to do here. So I don't have to be explaining everything with word of mouth. Let me just try sharing my full screen. Let's see. Sure. Let me see how it looks like. No, it wouldn't work. Okay, I think I have to use word of mouth. I'm going to try my best to make it well self-explanatory so that I can easily just go through it. Okay, so let's go ahead. So now we go to recommended charts. When you click on recommended charts, it brings out different chart options for you. When you click on it, you will see column charts, you see line charts, you see pie charts, you will see bar charts. Now I'm going to be choosing bar charts for this. I'll click on bar and I click on OK. And this is it. Let's bring it down so it doesn't cover others. So this is the first chart for the first question. Now let's create another chart for this question that says sum of revenue for all of the branches. We click inside it, we go to insert, we go to recommended charts, or you go to pivot chart. Anyone works. You click it on recommended charts. For this one, the chart I want us to use is pie charts. You go through your charts, your chart names, you see pie, P-I-E, click on it, and then OK. So let's take this down. So it doesn't cover others. Now let's build a chart for the third question that is talking about getting the trends of the sales from January to December. What happened? Now, whenever you're doing trends, whenever you're doing anything that relates to dates, always use line charts. It's like the normal rule of Excel. Whenever you are doing anything related to dates, always use line charts. So we click on this, we go to insert, go to recommended charts, look for line charts, click on it, and then you see the first one. We chose the first one, and then you click on OK, and it brings out this for us. So let's take it down. Let's reduce it. Okay. Now to the fourth question of what is the revenue for each of the products? Which of my products sold more? So we'll click on it on the pivot chart, on the pivot table, then go to recommended charts. This time around, I want to be column charts. So I chose the first one and I click on OK. Now let's reduce this and drag it down. Let's reduce it further. Okay, now for the last question that talks about Which of my sales reps did so well? We click on that pivot table, go to insert, and then recommend, sorry, and then recommended charts. And I want to use column chart, so we'll do okay. We reduce it. And let's put this here. Okay. Now we've created all of our charts. We've created all of our charts. Now let's work on the chart individually. First of all, looking at this chart, some people leave their charts like this, but it doesn't look professional. It's not neat. So what do? How do we make this neat? How do we make this look nice? We click on this, we click on the chart we want to work on. This plus sign, you click on it. Now, we don't want this chart title to show, this one. We don't need it. So we remove it. These grid lines, there's no need of it. So we take it out. Now this legend is just one. This is what we call legend. It's just one. There is no need of it. When your legend is more than one, then you can leave it. But this one is just one, so we don't really need it. So we take it out. Now, we don't need all of this to at the back. So let's take them out. This is mostly to make your charts neat. Click on this. Okay, let's do this one. Click on it. Do hide all. Okay, I think I'm being too fast. You go to this place, you right click, and then you click on hide all field buttons on charts. And this is neat. Now, sometimes it will be hard to just be tracing these numbers down. So instead of doing that, we just on data labels. And then take this one that is down out. We just click on it and click on delete. This is better than that first one. Now let's go to this place. We don't need this. We go to this plus sign. We are removing chart title. Now you see that the legend is more than 3. It's more than 1 here, showing that this is Jabi. This orange one is town, and this green one is Wuse. Now to get the numbers out, we click on data labels. We can see that we can't really see the data labels of this one. So to make it, let's make the color white. We click on it, come to home. You see it's highlighted already. You see this box, meaning it's highlighted. We go to home, and then this place that is A, we click on it and make it white. It's bold. It's better now. So clean this one up. Let's clean the next one. Okay, now this is our trend line. We don't need this legend to show because it's just one. So remove the legend. We don't want all these grid lines. These grid lines are for olden days, or it depends on your design, the kind of design you want to create. But mostly, since you can see the trend up and down, there's no need for it as far as I'm concerned, or depends on what your client wants. So we are taking it out. Now we don't need this here. We remove it. This one, we don't really need it, but we can keep it if you want. This total, we don't need it, so we'll take it out. Chart title. So this is clean. Now let's move to the next chart. I've taken out the grid lines. By now, you should understand what I'm doing now. Taking out the grid lines, I'm taking out the legend, and we don't need this one, so we'll take it out. But we have to on the data label. We want the data label to come out. Okay. Now let's make it white. Go to home, click on this ABCD, change it to white. Okay, I think we should leave it in black. Find the way around it later. Okay, I think that's all of it. We are fast. That's nice. Hope we all understand what I'm doing so far. Hello.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's go back to building of. Now we want to build the dashboard. The dashboard is what shows all of these charts in one place. So when you're trying to create your dashboard, these are the things you should find inside your dashboard. One, you should find the KPIs, you should find the charts, you should find the filters, and you should find the title. So now let's create our dashboard where we will put all of these charts. So we create another sheet, which is this. Now, in creating your dashboard, you have to first of all create your working area, your working space. So to do that, we'll have to first of all make this to be in full screen mode. Now, when you make it in full screen mode, you see it's wider now. Then we want to mark out the areas that will be working. So we go down, let's assume we want to use from row 1 to row 32. So you click on row 33, then you press on Control Shift arrow down. It highlights from row 33 to the last row. So you right click and then you hide. You see everything here is hidden. So now we have to also work on the columns. So we want the column, we want this to start from, let's say it should start from here, U. Want to start from A to U. So we'll highlight column V, we'll press Control Shift arrow going to the side. Now we right click and then we hide. Now this is going to be our working surface. So the next step is we need to remove all those grid lines. All these lines, we need to remove the formula bar also. So we go to View, and then we uncheck these grid lines. We uncheck formula bars, and we uncheck heading. Now we see this is very neat. This is what we are trying to create. We are trying to create something like this. So let's name this dashboard 2. Okay. So now we have to add colors to this dashboard to beautify it. So just press on Control A. It highlights all of your working area. Then you go to Home, and then you choose your fill color. I think the fill color I chose for this, okay. We choose the fill color. I think this looks different. Okay, so we've chosen the fill color. So now we have our background, our canvas is this color. Now we have to create an image that holds all of our charts together. So we go to insert, we go to shapes. I will choose the rounded shapes, the rounded corners. Click on it and then we draw. This is too wide. Let's reduce it. Okay, so now let's reduce this. Let's reduce it. Make here a little. Okay. Hold on. Control Z, Control Z. Okay. Trying to fit this.
Jules, you have 10 more minutes left to end this class.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
since we can't really build the charts, I wanted us to be able to build this. This was actually what I wanted us to build. But let me just quickly explain. Let me see if I can quickly explain how I achieved this. So now to build this chart, it's mostly bringing in containers into Excel, bringing in shapes into Excel. Now, just like we did with this first one, I've added the first color, and then this is what holds my charts. Now with this, we can just come here, copy. We can come here where we did our analysis, copy this and paste. I think it's button, okay. We copy this, Control C, then we'll come to this place and paste. Then we start arranging them. So we have to arrange it until it looks like this. arranging it to take more time. But with this dashboard, you can actually know what is happening instead of going to go and look at the data set. When you're looking at this dashboard, you would easily understand, okay, now Wuse actually sold more. Looking at this, the least selling badge is town. Now, which of the products is actually selling more? You can come to this place. You see accessories is what is selling more. Now, this place is saying which of my reps actually, which of my sales agents did so well. If I want to maybe increase anyone's salary, which of them am I increasing their salary? Looking at this chart, you can easily tell that Rita is doing so well, followed by Timothy. Now, when we look at the sales trend, you will see that there is a spike in July and in December, showing that this company normally have their highest sales in July and in December. Now, looking at this one is answering the question of, in all of the branches, which is Wuse, Town, and Jabi, which of my products is selling more? So I know where to put in my money. If you look at Wuse here, Wuse is selling more shoes. Wuse has 498. Then if you look at Town is selling more shoes also, and Jabi is selling more accessories. So looking at this data, now there's also something called slicers. But looking at this data, you can easily tell the client that, okay, the highest place that you're making more profit or more gain is Wuse. The time you make more sales is mostly July and December. Now, in all of your sales rep, the top two people that are actually selling your goods well, that have sold more products, is Rita and Timothy. And generally, what sells more is accessories. But now, when you want to break it down by the branches, what sells more in Wuse is shoes. What sells more in Town is accessories. What sells more in Jabi is accessories. So now this would help inform your decision of where to put in your money more. Now there's something called slicers. Let me see if I can just quickly show us that. Okay. Now these are what we call slicers. With these slicers, I can now be able to get more information, deeper information that is not seen on the dashboard. What do I mean? Remember we said Wuse has more. Is that Wuse? That okay, yes, that Wuse sells more. Now with slicers, you can tell why is Wuse selling more. Why? What happened? Why is it that it's only Wuse that is selling more? With slicers, you can be able to tell, okay, why is it that it's accessories that is selling more? Slicers help you to find the inner answers that the normal eyes can't see. You have to slice through to be able to get all of these informations. And there's also something called correlation. With correlation, you can be able to get, okay, if in January that there is a low sale in January, is there something we can do that would help improve the sale in January? That's also called correlation, although that's for the experts. But with this alone, with this dashboard alone, you can easily just tell the surface answers. With filters, with sliders, you can easily tell the inner answers that the eyes can't see. You can filtering two in for the branch and for the sales agents. You can combine different filters to give you different answers. Yes, I know we are not able to do this, but you can actually go online, check on Coursera, check on Udemy. You can see more things, more things to learn. And I'm hoping with these few points of mine, I'm able to show you the sweetness of using Excel for data analysis. And please, if you have any questions or concerns, please do ask me.
All right. Does anybody have any question to ask Jules so we can proceed? If you have any questions, just let us know. It's good to see your face again. Anybody? Delapo, you're welcome. Do you have a question for Jules before we close for today? We have just 2 minutes left to end this class. Okay.
No. Thank you very
All right.
much.
So
For
if you have
now, I don't have any
okay,
questions,
Delapo.
but I enjoyed the class. It was very interesting. And thank you to the team and everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dolapo. It's nice hearing from you. That's nice. Thank you.
Thank you. But then, please, before we go, do you have like a group or something, or where I can actually access this the
Yeah.
information you use for the data for tonight's work?
Okay, like the data
For
set.
the previous
Yes, like
Sorry.
the project brief for solving this pivot table this night.
Okay, so the videos is available on the site. Okay, I think your pressure should help us answer that.
the videos are already and you're going to get asked. However,
Hello,
if you
pressure. Sorry, I
find,
can't hear you.
can you hear me?
Hello.